Welcome to Jake and Josh Show, guys. Today, we're going to smoke some Berry White from the old Talk Time hemp. And Leo was talking to me about this shit. He's like, your understanding's a little off. So what's actually going on with this weed is it's weed. And so the curing process is different. Or the testing process, when they test it, is different. Because they have to have it tested under 0.3% delta 9 THC, which delta 9 THC is active if you ate it. Regular weed isn't active if you eat it yet because it hasn't been heated. And so THCA is converted to delta 9 THC when it's exposed to heat, and there's other things that can cause the chemical process to occur, but heat's the most common reason. And so all this weed is just regular weed that's been cured slightly different, or it just tests at under 0.3% THC. Most weed tests around 1 to 2% delta 9 THC. So it wouldn't pass the law. So these people just have to pass that little guideline that is not that decarboxylated in order to sell their product without any restriction. So that's how it works. Very cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that you can just go and get this.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's I was doing the math on it, so I get deals on the weed that I smoke a lot. That's the only thing that really makes it worth it. Because the weed I smoke, it's 3 times as expensive as this weed. This weed's good. It gets you high. It's not the super icky, dicky, sticky, dankest weed in the world, but it's good. It's dispensary grade weed. I've been disappointed by a lot of weed that I've went and bought that was way more expensive than this stuff many times in the search for some good weed. And so, honestly, I'm going to buy some of this and smoke some of this. It's good shit. It's not the icky, sticky, dankest in the world, but it's also not harsh at all. And that is my biggest takeaway from it. Like, weed is weed. It'll get you high. It's rating at some good percentages. It definitely gets you high. And it's not harsh at all.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good. Thumbs up. For sure.
Good shit. So, I don't have a would you rather for today. What do you got in your notes?
Well, what I'm really excited about in July, South Park season 27.
Hell yeah.
It's been a few years, it feels like, since they've come out with an actual episode. So
Instead of a movie.
yeah, and one of those streaming the hour-long specials that they do. But no, this is gonna be cool. Hopefully,
The movies were cool though. I like those.
they're gonna have Diddy episode, and
Nice.
Kyle contracting some kind of disease, and
Oh hell yeah. Are they gonna have RFK in that one?
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but it should be good. I've always liked South Park. I'm more of a fan of the older episodes, but the newer episodes are always good too.
Yeah. I like the Strong Woman episode. That's one of my favorite episodes.
I was thinking today about the city sushi episode where the butter starts an Asian turf war. That's a good one.
I don't remember that one.
There's
Must
a
not have watched
Japanese sushi restaurant that moves in next to City Walk.
Oh shit, yeah.
Chinese
And
restaurant.
City Walk's gonna shut down.
And then the City Walk guys just keeps trying to get rid of the Japanese guy pretty much, and eventually he does.
Dude, I had sushi last night at the old W to Z, dude. It was pretty good. It's not old. The place is new, brand new.
Okay.
Yeah. It was like a fried crab roll. Shit was bomb. What else you got?
Well, UFC 314's next weekend with Volkanovski. Volkanovski versus Lopez.
Yeah, Diego Lopez. Yeah, you think Volk's gonna get knocked out again?
No, I don't think so. I think Volk's gonna pull it out.
Yeah, I think Volk will beat him. It's a bummer he lost it to Poirier.
We'll see, but yeah, no, I think I'm excited. There's a lot of good fights on that card. You got Bryce Mitchell fighting. I'm excited to see Bryce Mitchell fight
Yeah,
and shut
Patty
up this annoying barking dude.
Patty Pimblett's gonna fight Michael Chandler, right? On that card.
Yeah, no, that's another fight.
Yeah, that'll be
And
fun.
I think there's one more good fight on that card.
Yeah, everybody hates Patty Pimblett. I think he's pretty good though.
No, yeah, I think Patty will win.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's that Pitbull Yair Rodriguez fight. Patricio Pitbull from Bellator.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's coming over. He was a double champ in Bellator.
Wild.
I was actually talking to Tim about that one, and he thinks, oh no, he thinks, I think he was thinking Bryce Mitchell's gonna pull out the win. I don't think he gave me an opinion on the
Uh.
Yair Patricio fight, but yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, I think that I fucking hope Volk will win. I just always root for Volk.
Yeah, no, I think I think he's like only still 36, so he's still
Yeah.
got 35, 36. It's not like he's super old, and
I
I
was taking
think
a nap at that one press
I
conference.
don't think Diego's nearly as experienced. If it gets into the championship rounds,
Yeah.
I think Volk's gonna pull it out for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Very cool. Um, yeah. This week, no hate from the vegans online, but you're still butchering meat.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
All day, every day. Well, not all day, but every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Every day for a period of time.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's a good thing to know because not a lot of people know how to do it, and everybody needs to eat. Especially everybody needs to eat meat. I mean,
Yeah.
can't be a vegan or a vegan. You don't want to be a part of that group. You know what I
No,
mean?
and not for long. I mean, most of them don't last very long.
Yeah.
They either die or they find out they're dying.
I think Nate Diaz is a vegan.
No.
He was saying something on some podcast. I saw a clip.
What? Are you
One
sure it
time.
wasn't a fucking deep fake?
He might be a vegetarian.
Can you pull it up?
Uh,
There's no
you have
fucking
the
way.
computer. I think it was vegetarian. I don't think he's a vegan. I don't think he's that crazy, but um yeah, but no, I did see a clip where he was talking about, yeah, I don't eat meat anymore. He has followed a plant-based diet in the past.
But has also consumed animal products, including seafood and eggs. He's not a vegan. Diaz stated he likes to promote the vegan industry. He hears a lot of
Terrible.
criticism from people saying you need meat to be stronger for recovery, and it's a bunch of bull because I train harder than everybody. But then he eats animal products, so
Yeah, no, he's a vegetarian, not a vegan, I think.
yeah. And it makes your fucking it makes your brain shrink, and that could be part of Nate Diaz's issue with the talking and stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
So I don't want no smoke from Nate Diaz. I was just kidding.
Yeah, and then I was thinking today how they should call Starbucks. They shouldn't call it Starbucks. They should call it Sugar Bucks. Most people, I was looking at because there's a Starbucks in my workplace,
Yeah.
And I was looking at some of the customers, and I'm just like, they're not there for the caffeine. They're there for the sugar.
Yeah. Sugar, especially sugar in beverages, is a strong addiction.
It's
Strong.
sugar with a little bit of caffeine or a little bit of coffee.
Yeah. Well, a good solid shot of coffee. I mean, you get a good amount of caffeine with the sugar. But yeah, it's not about the caffeine so much. Although if you intake a lot of caffeine, then it's about the caffeine because otherwise you get a headache. Ooh, got a headache. Yeah, sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never experienced any sort of withdrawal symptom at all from nicotine, but and I've regularly quit on the weekends and stuff before and all that, whatever. And I've experienced caffeine withdrawal headaches for not getting my coffee like any time I ever didn't drink my coffee.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. It's a hell of a drug. I think the only reason caffeine is like legal and so like promoted as the get you going fuel is because it's hard to overdo it. Because you just have a bad time if you overdo it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like a kind of low key shitty drug.
I was watching some video, I think it was earlier this week, on some dude drinking too much caffeine, and I think because one of his organs ended up shutting down because he drank so much caffeine, and
Yeah.
then it just started a chain reaction where all of his organs started shutting down.
Yeah, that's how it works, dude. Especially, well, if you not drinking enough water and drinking a ton of caffeine and your body can't process it out well and all that. It's terrible. But not drinking enough water will kill you alone. Um, I haven't seen anything new in the news about anything.
Yeah, I deleted all my social media apps, so I haven't even been. I've been wasting too much time on them, so I just got off them so I could,
Yeah, live
when
life.
I got home from work, I wouldn't waste my time scrolling, and I'd play a video game or something and actually
Yeah.
have fun.
So do you think Elon Musk is the Antichrist? Have we gone over this? We haven't, right?
I don't think so, no.
So my friend thinks, and I won't name them, but my friend thinks that Elon Musk and Donald Trump might not be the Antichrist, because obviously the Antichrist isn't two people, but they're like two of the demons from Revelations, or beasts, two beasts from Revelations coming to take over. But so she was actually predicting that it was either Elon Musk or Donald Trump that was the Antichrist. She said, like a year before Elon Musk and Donald Trump like rose back to power again. Like she was saying, and she's like Republican as fuck. She's not like on a political thing about it. She's on like a religious thing about it. She's just watching them and she's like, it's weird. You know, they're
Okay.
both weird. And I was like, but the Antichrist, everybody likes the Antichrist. And she's like, no, not everybody likes the Antichrist. That's a common misconception. So I don't know how true that is, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't try to dive too deep in Bible stories.
Do you like Keanu Reeves?
I mean, I know about his, I've seen some of his movies.
Yeah, you like him for the most part. He's all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think Keanu Reeves is the Antichrist. A lot of people really love Keanu Reeves, and then I never really met anybody that was like, "Fuck Keanu Reeves," you know?
Yeah, no, everybody. I don't know
Yeah,
anybody who doesn't like him either, except the people who killed his dog.
yeah, but that's in movies, so that don't matter. Yeah, I shouldn't have killed his dog. But yeah, so I feel like Keanu Reeves could be the Antichrist. And I was thinking about another person that could be the Antichrist, and I fucking forgot who it was. Jim Carrey.
Yeah, some people don't like him
Some people
though.
hate. Oh yeah, Uncle
He's
Joe
kind of,
hates Jim
yeah.
Carrey.
Some people do.
Yeah. So it's not Jim
He's
Carrey.
kind of weird.
It's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, he's so I think Keanu's not like he's not in the media that often, whereas
Yeah,
Jim Carrey will go out and do these stupid talk shows and talk,
yeah,
and people go, oh yeah, and then people form an opinion about him based on
right.
those talk shows,
And
whereas you don't really see.
yeah, Keanu's like, I just play a badass in the
Yeah,
movies all the time.
and then I do charity work.
Yeah, and anything you hear about me in public is me being a gentleman.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you don't really. I've never seen him on a talk show. He probably has
Right.
been, but I've never seen a clip online or anything like you do some of the other celebrities.
Yeah. For sure, that's very true. I feel the same way. So yeah, Keanu Reeves, possibly the Antichrist. We'll get back to you on that one. Um, did you see System of a Down's coming out with a new album? No, they're not. That'd be crazy though, if they did. That'd be nuts.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. No, my favorite band has a new album coming out this year. I can't wait for that.
What, all them witches?
Oh yeah, all them witches.
What are they calling the new album?
I don't know, but it should be out soon. They recorded it in January, so
Nice. I've been watching this show called Invincible. You ever see that show?
no.
It's a good show. It's a cartoon. Anime, I guess you'd call it. I don't know. And there's like the superhero kid and a superhero dad, but the superhero dad's from another planet, and then his superhero daddy turns out to be evil. Spoiler alert. And then his superhero dad almost beats him to death, and then someone else from the planet comes, fights him. You know, there's cool fight scenes. Um, uh, there's not a lot of powering up like Dragon Ball Z. Remember in Dragon Ball Z, there's powering up.
Yeah,
Powering up.
screaming.
Yeah, they do talk before they fight a lot. But yeah, I feel like everything does that in the animated world. You gotta talk before they fight,
Yeah.
because otherwise it's just a fight scene. And nobody wants that.
That's what you watch UFC for.
Yeah, you ever see like the first Matrix?
I mean, I've probably seen it, but I was probably
What?
really young.
You never seen the first Matrix?
I mean, not since I was really young,
The
no.
first Matrix is dope. The second Matrix, though, it's like one long fight scene, and you're like, really? And it's the plot is almost non-existent.
Okay.
Yeah, but the first movie, it has this whole plot and everything. You know, there's a whole story. You know, and then basically, the story could have been over, pretty much at the end of the first movie. But then they realized they could milk a second, third out of
Make
it,
some money,
and
yeah.
a fourth. Yeah. Sad when they do that with a good movie. But yeah.
I was playing some Gladius this week.
Yeah.
It was alright.
Where are you at?
I was just Imperio, just
Oh yeah.
start.
Just fucking what kind of
I was
team are you
I was
building?
getting like halfway. I had a couple Murmillos and a couple Centurions,
Yeah, you gotta get the
and
Centurions.
then a Bandit.
I like to get like Centurions and then have a couple you have a couple mediums in your team automatically, and then get a whole big wolf pack. That's been my obsession every time I play Gladius lately.
Yeah, I always usually get whip packs, but this time I'm not, just because.
Yeah. It takes up a lot of your school.
Yeah, when I get whip packs, I like to get them at low levels so I can kind of.
Yeah, customize them and make them all work together and fucking endlessly bite the.
So I at least get two in Imperia, if not three.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you have to give up like a bunch of the best characters because the Imperials really are the best classes almost. I feel like they are.
Yeah, usually Centurions and
Yeah.
freaking, what do you call them? The light class,
Oh, the bandits or
No, the
the
other ones.
seculars?
Yeah, seculars.
Yeah, I forget. How do the
And the
seculars? Oh, the
Murmillas are
seculars get
always.
the attack from behind bonus, huh?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
they're super fast and do the taunting.
yeah, very good. Yeah, I like. I wish they would come out with a second game, but they can't because Disney bought out the rights in. What year did Disney buy out the rights in?
I don't know. It's been
Disney
a while.
Disney bought out the rights a long time ago. Well, they bought out LucasArts as a company, and then they owned Gladius. They owned Gladius as a title, but they just shut it down as soon as they bought it. So they were just eating up any possible competition by buying it and shutting it down. That's crazy when you can do that. You'd be like, I'll give you a couple million to just give up. We got this shit on lock.
Yeah.
But,
No, LucasArts still makes games. They still make like Star Wars and
what?
whatnot. Yeah.
I thought they got bought out by
Yeah, but
Disney.
no, they still have like the
They still
LucasArts
make.
name,
They
and they
just shut
still.
down the Gladius thing.
Yeah, they just don't do Gladius for whatever reason.
That's crazy. They should do Gladius and do a good job. But what I really want is not a Gladius 2 that's like a whole different game, but a Gladius 2 that just has an online feature. And you can just play other people online,
Yeah.
and maybe they upgrade the graphics a little bit. And that would be it. It would be perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple extra side quests.
I'm kind of liking this War Tales game that I'm playing. It's like a. It's kind of like the map's kind of similar. When you're walking around in Gladius, it's like you walk around from town to town, and or there's like a cave that you can go into, or a small lumber mill or something. But each area that you get to, you press A, and then you go into the area, and then you can talk to the different people and whatnot. It's pretty similar to Gladius. It has like that feel like I'm playing Gladius kinda, especially like the combat.
Yeah.
It's turn based, and you level up each character individually, and pick their skill tree.
Yeah, I like turn-based combat. That's my favorite thing about Gladius. Really, you could like the story's cool, kind of cool in Gladius, whatever. But you could completely take the story out. I wouldn't care. Just the mechanics of the game, how you set up your party and everything, and how diverse that is. Like the amount of choice you have. It's hard to find that in a game. Usually, you can't find that much like. Ability to personalize how you
Yeah,
approach your gameplay.
yeah, no, Gladius was always fun, and I think it's kind of like the War Tales is kind of like Baldur's Gate, where but Baldur's Gate, like when I start that game, I think you'd probably like it because it's turn based, and you 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 can take on different characters as you go on and really like gear your team towards how you want to play.
Yeah, I played the original
Um,
Baldur's Gate um, on PC in like I don't remember like what year, but maybe like 2002 or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Baldur's Gate 3. I kind of get confused when I start up because I don't know what the heck's going on. I'm like, so. But I think if I gave it a little more time, I'd figure it out and probably enjoy it a lot. I've heard of a lot of people enjoying that game, so
Yeah.
I should give it more of a chance. But that's another turn-based game.
I've been playing this game called Schedule 1 where you just grow weed and you can make other drugs too, but I don't make any other drugs yet because they're like, you can buy pseudoephedrine, and I was like, I don't want to make meth because I'm going to be an ethical drug dealer. So I'm going to wait till cocaine comes out and I'm going to sell that. And it's like you can run around and sell drugs to people, and then sometimes the cops catch you. But what you can do is you can run away from the cops, hide in a dumpster or some shit. But you can also just run up and punch a cop in the face and run away and hide somewhere, which is what I like to do sometimes. Just see if you can like play tag. And it's pretty easy to get away as long as you know your way around. Even if you don't know your way around, I figure you could probably still get away from them.
Yeah.
Sometimes they tase your ass. But yeah. So that game's fun, but it's basically just like a level up game. Like you like level up, now you can do this, level up, now you can do this. And then you just every day you get better at making and selling drugs. Yeah, but it's like not realistic. Like you mix the weed with Listerine, and then it makes like stronger weed that's worth a lot more money. And you can mix it with all sorts of shit, not just Listerine. And you can make all different kinds of strains. You can mix it with like a bunch of different things, so that you do like 10 mixes on it, and then well, not 10, that's an exaggeration, like 5 mixes on it, and then it'll be like super expensive weed, like 4 times as much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should see if that's on Xbox.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like $20 on Steam.
Because my laptop can't really run very many games.
It's a pretty light game, I feel like. It's not like online really. I mean, you can play online with your friends though. But it's all just like shitty graphic, like simple shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. So fuck, Nate Diaz is not a vegan. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably be dead if he was.
Nah, that'd be sad. Yeah. Be too bad for Nate Diaz. That's what we'd be saying.
I think that needs packed. Yeah, that needs
Fuck.
packed. Yeah, so I'm saving up for a camper van so I can. There's this dude that I work with at the butcher shop, and he cuts meat in the winter, like during hunting season and whatnot, and then he just takes all summer off to do whatever he wants to. I think he's going to some country in Europe. I forget which country. There's too many to remember. But he's going somewhere out there, and he's gonna, just live it up this summer. So I want to get a camper van. So when I start my butchering, just do that in the winter, and then just explore wherever in the summer for a few months and just enjoy life. That sounds like a good plan. So I'm saving up for a nice camper van, like $20,000 range.
Oh yeah, you could go hang out in the mountains in Colorado
Something,
in the
yeah,
summertime.
something that you can like live out of. Yeah.
Somewhere nice and cool. Yeah, it's hot here, dude, in the summer. It's terribly hot. Sometimes it's like 130 degrees in Phoenix.
Yeah, there's some places I want to go, like in the springtime. Like Canyonlands in the springtime in Utah would be really cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you could go to Alaska in the springtime.
I think Alaska's a better summertime
Yeah.
place because it's sunlight all day long for a certain amount of time in the summer.
Yeah, go for the never-ending day. I wonder, do people work more during the never-ending day? Or they just go home, draw all the blinds, and go to sleep anyway?
Probably go to sleep anyway. I mean, I need my sleep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously you're gonna sleep for a while, but I mean, you don't have to call it at 7 o'clock because it's getting dark. Because it's not getting dark, you know. You could work until 10 and just go home and pass out. That'd suck. It's kind of nice that the light determines whether or not you can work, you know? So it
Well, some jobs.
Yeah, for sure, because a lot of jobs are inside. I forgot about that. I've worked a lot of outdoor jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I work inside all day. I could, work at
All
night.
day, all night. 24 hours.
Although that would suck to have like a working at night. Night shifts at jobs are probably no fun.
I used to sleepwalk when I worked that night shift job at the printing place. It was like 6 at night till 6 in the morning, and then it would be 5 days on, 2 days off, 2 days on, 5 days off, and I'd fall asleep and sleepwalk around the building, and I'd wake up like near other printers or near other section of the building that was doing other functions, and I'd be like, where the fuck am I? And I had to find my way back to my station. It was terrible. I think I only worked there for, I think it was like 2 or 3 months. I was making decent money, well, at the time, for like what I had been making normally for the rest of my life. And, but I couldn't hack it, so I just quit. That shit sucked. I'm not a night person. I'm most definitely a 6 o'clock in the morning person. It's my favorite time.
Yeah, no, I like getting up and going to work.
Yeah.
I don't like when I work my 9 o'clock shifts. I hate it because I don't like sitting around and waiting to go to work. Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Yeah, it's a bummer. Yeah, I just go to work at like 8:30 every day. It's nice. Sitting in an office is a whole different kind of shit for work. But yeah, so fuck, dude. Um, would you rather be on the last fight on the prelims for a UFC pay-per-view event, or headline a fight night?
I don't probably headline a fight night just because all the it gets shown on ESPN. So
Yeah, you think they
you,
get more views that way?
possibly. I mean, you could get more of a casual audience at least.
Yeah.
People who aren't as tuned in. Oh, watch you
Yeah.
fight and you make a good play or a good you make a good highlight and people go, oh,
I feel like from what I've seen,
that guy's cool.
I don't normally see advertisements for a fight night. Like Josh Emmett or Josh Emmett just fought last night, but I
Yeah.
didn't see any advertisements about it.
Okay. Yeah, I watched most of the fight. Yeah, I watched. Yeah, I watched like half of the fight.
I didn't watch the fight. But yeah, so I didn't see any advertisements or anything about it, and it's like every time there's a pay-per-view, I see advertisements about it. So I feel like people probably tune in a little early a lot of the time, and so they'll see that last fight on the prelims, because they'll be like, let's just start watching the prelims.
Yeah.
So you might have a better chance of getting seen.
No, that's probably the better bet, to be
I
honest.
wonder what
'cause
pays better,
not as many
though.
people watch the fight nights. Not nearly.
Yeah. I wonder what pays better, the fight night or the last prelim.
I don't know. Probably the fight night.
Yeah.
Probably the main event.
Just because you're headlining. Yeah. I figured that's probably how it is.
It probably depends on your contract, really, to be honest.
Yeah, and then you get a bonus if you do real good. That's ingenious. It's the best way to run a business. You give them like a real, like pretty small contract. Like this will cover all your training and your bills and everything, but that's about it. And then you'd be like, but you could win $50,000. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that $50,000 bonus probably isn't much. I mean, it probably is just the lower card fighters.
Yeah, because they get, some of them get
But
12-12s.
the main card fighters are probably like, oh, that's nothing. Like
Yeah.
the main event fighters.
Yeah, the 12-12 guys are 12 to fight, 12 to win. So if they lose, they get $12,000. But if they win fight of the night with another person because they go to the end and they still lose, then they get $12,000 but 50 grand on top of it, and that just like totally changed their life as far as their ability to train and like how much they have to work another job and all that shit. And so the $50,000 for all the lower down guys is probably a huge blessing. But yeah, all the higher up guys, it's like whatever. 50 grand is 50 grand. They did 300 for UFC 300. That was nuts.
Yeah.
Damn it.
That is pretty crazy. I guess I have one. Freaking, would you rather be a cat or a dog?
Damn. Cat dog. Can you be a cat dog? Cat dog.
I don't think there's such thing as a cat dog.
Did you ever see that show?
Yeah, the cartoon on
No,
Nickelodeon.
it was real.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a cat dog, and they were put together. And it
No.
was on Nickelodeon. And they said, out on the road and back in town, all kind of great, putting cat dog down. Right?
I don't know. That's it must have been that cartoon was around when I was a kid, so
No, it was a cartoon for sure. And yeah,
I
there
was
was a
like
cat.
really young, like 4, 5 when I was watching that.
Yeah, there's a
And
cat.
then they discontinued it.
There's a cat and a dog that were like stuck together. It was kind of some weird thing, a weird
Yeah,
experiment.
they discontinued that in like 2001 probably or something like that.
Yeah, all kinds of critters were putting it down.
Yeah, but no, I'd probably choose cat.
Yeah, 'cause you can just like,
You can climb trees and whatnot.
if they let you go outside,
Yeah.
sometimes people keep you inside.
Yeah, my cat lives the life 'cause he's outside 24/7.
Yeah, like whatever, but like, I'm not gonna die on this hill too. But let your cat go outside, please.
Yeah, I mean,
If it gets eaten,
they like to be outside.
it's just the nature. My cats don't get eaten normally. It's very rare.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
If you live in an area with coyotes and other predators.
There's things around.
That's the plus about being a dog is they use, you don't hear about coyotes messing with dogs or.
Maybe a small dog.
Yeah, but like a big.
Yeah. No, my dog, no. The coyotes are all skinny and
Usually
malnourished.
even a mountain lion isn't even gonna mess with a dog,
Yeah.
whereas mountain lion sees a cat and that's
Right.
dinner.
Right, the mountain lion doesn't really want to fucking.
But then again, a cat is a mountain lion, so you could be a mountain lion too if you're a cat.
Oh, a tiger.
Yeah, or a tiger.
Damn, son. Nah, house cats got the life.
But if you're a dog, you could be a wolf.
You know what sucks about being a house cat most of the time, though, is you probably are eating like dry cat food.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, my cat's spoiled. He eats wet food and he
Yeah.
won't eat anything else, really.
Yeah, dry cat food probably sucks.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever tried cat food, but I tried dog food when I was a kid, and it tastes like shit.
Yeah. I've never tried it.
Yeah. I tried a milk bone once, too. It was not actually bad. It just was super bland. It tastes like nothing, and it was very dry. I was like, why do dogs like these? You just give them a nothing biscuit. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've been getting bones from the butcher shop, so the dogs have been spoiled on bones.
Oh, yeah.
Fresh beef bones the past few days, and they've been happy.
Yeah.
One had all this meat on it, and Harold went and buried it.
Oh, no.
And he unburied it like the next day. And it has all this dirt covering the bone, and he's still looking up. He didn't care.
The dogs are gross. What a gross thing.
He likes to do that. He'll like, oh, I'm gonna save this for later, and I'm gonna try to go steal Maggie's.
Terrible.
Yeah.
He's a big bully, dude. That's crazy. That dog's a fatty.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's cool. They're happy. That's a plus about working at the butcher shop. Free bones when people don't want theirs.
Yeah, that's dope. And you can use bones for broth, and broth is super dope.
Yeah.
I like good bone broth. I like good pho. You ever have pho? Pho.
Yeah, I've had it a few times, I think.
Oh, that shit's bomb. I like the rice noodles and the bean sprouts, all that shit. Super great. So, a cat or a dog? I would rather be a cat, I feel like. Maybe a bigger cat.
Yeah, I think it'd just be easier to be a dog
A,
though,
a bigger house cat.
especially like a decent size, like an 80-pound dog or something like that.
Yeah, but then people are always people are always telling you what to do then.
I guess so.
But with the cat just says fuck you, and the people
Yeah.
are like, whatever, it's a cat. But the dog, they're like, no, you'll listen.
Yeah, no,
you know?
I'd probably be a better cat.
Yeah. Yeah, so just because of that, they'd be like, okay, I can knock the glass off the counter and they won't even kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, just stay away from the people all day.
And they'll
And
just say,
still,
psst.
they won't care.
It's the worst you get when you're a cat. People say, psst, and maybe just push you off. Get. See? But the dog, people beat their dogs all the time. It's terrible. Dog beaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cats are agile. They can climb, do shit, cool shit. They can go on top of buildings. You could be a stray cat, just living the life, eating out of dumpsters, nom nom nom. You don't give a fuck. You don't know any better.
Not
You're
have
just
to
a cat.
deal with any people.
Yeah. Damn, that'd be dope.
Yeah, but dogs are they're lost without people.
Yeah.
Unless you're a wolf. And then a wolf can just, go around and kill things in the pack with other wolves.
Yeah. Being a mountain lion might actually be pretty cool, 'cause nobody really fuck with you. But then you'd have to kind of stay away from people, 'cause if you went around people, then somebody would really fuck with you.
Yeah.
So you'd have to get your food from the wild.
You could be a jaguar in Mexico. A Mexican jaguar.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if they get lots of food.
Yeah.
I seen this one video of this jaguar like grabbing a alligator by the back of its skull.
It was probably one of those caimans or whatever they call those things.
Oh yeah.
They're like a smaller version of an
Yeah, it was
alligator.
pretty small. And he grabbed it, and ripped it up and swam across the fucking river with it. And then climbed a hill and then went up a tree.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah, bit it like right in the back of the neck.
Yeah,
like
no,
on
there's
its
plenty
spine.
of, like, where they're at, there's plenty of, like, they live in, like, the jungles of Mexico and Central America, so there's plenty of food source there.
Yeah.
They do. There is, like, one in Arizona, too.
Oh yeah, heard there's jaguars in Arizona.
Southern
now.
Arizona, near Tucson,
That's crazy.
in the mountains.
Yeah, they're moving up, moving in. They're gonna
But
take us out.
usually that's because they get pushed out of their territory by another jaguar in Mexico, so they come up here, or they need food. They're just looking for food.
All right, we got time. Would you rather have to fight off 100 jaguars or 100 grizzly bears? You get a shotgun, like a good old pump shotgun with like a, what, 7, 8 rounds, and then you get unlimited shells.
I'd say jaguars just because they'd be easier to kill.
Yeah, but they're faster.
I don't think they'd be much
Are they?
faster.
Yeah, they're not that much
Grizzly
faster.
bears
Grizzlies are
pretty
fast as
fast.
fuck. Grizzlies are a problem. Yeah. What
And
am I thinking?
yeah, I mean, jaguars are pretty small compared to like a tiger
Yeah.
or a lion.
I think I'd rather fight a grizzly than a tiger even.
I don't know about a tiger. Those things are crazy.
Yeah, but if you had a shotgun, what if you had to
Still,
fight one of a grizzly or a
I
tiger?
don't know. Tigers are.
Tigers are
least-
big.
The good thing about big cats is that they'll kill you before they eat you, or they'll kill you before they eat you. Whereas bears will eat you alive.
Yeah.
And therefore, it'd probably be better to go up against a cat in any situation.
Yeah, but you got a shotgun.
Yeah, I mean, any situation up against a cat.
Terrible.
Because, yeah, I'd rather get killed before eating than...
Yeah, that's true, and I think you got a better chance of killing the tiger anyway with the shotgun.
Yeah, grizzly bears have
It's
a
too
lot of
thick.
fat on them.
Yeah, they're too thick. You could do like solid slugs though.
Yeah, no, I say, yeah, it's definitely
Definitely the
cat.
tiger. Yeah, in any
No,
case.
different story with like a hippo, then I'd pick the grizzly. Hippos are just big and they're fast and they're
You don't think you could
mean.
take a hippo out with a shotgun?
I mean, those things get up to like 2,000 pounds.
Yeah, they are
if not
pretty
more.
big. Well, I mean,
Or for like, yeah, hippo, no.
grizzlies are big too.
Yeah, but hippos are huge.
How big is a grizzly?
I think hippos are like the deadliest animal for humans because like the most deaths have come from hippos.
Grizzlies are only 600 pounds.
Yeah, like hippos get up over a ton. And they run as fast as grizzly bears do. Okay.
Polar bear is 990 pounds.
Oh, I thought that was hippo. I was like, wow, I was way off. Yeah, polar bear maybe not, but still,
Those could be 3,500 to 9,900 pounds.
Yeah, hippos
So they
are
could be
crazy.
10,000 pounds. Damn, I didn't know hippos were that much of a fucking threat.
They're just tanks.
That's crazy. How big is a
And
moose?
they kill a lot of people in Africa. Moose kill a lot of people too.
A moose could be 1,500 pounds. That's pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
Moose is a problem. You think you could take a moose down with one shotgun shell?
If you hit it in the right spot.
Yeah.
You gotta hit it in the right spot though.
Damn.
You gotta hit it like right there behind the shoulder.
Oh yeah, you don't want to hit it in the dome. You think they got a thick dome?
Probably. Gotta hold those big old antlers.
Dude, they're big, dude. I seen this video of these dudes fucking with this moose. And they were like, oh, it's the moose, you know? And the dude's like, hey, don't be fucking with it. You know, they're up in Canada. And these other guys are obviously tourists. And they're drunk. And they're like, fuck off. And the dude's like, touch it. And he's like, yeah, go on now, touch it. And he goes to touch it, and then the fucking moose, like, butts him.
Yeah.
And knocks him over. And then he's trying to run away from the moose, and the moose is chasing after him. And the dude's like, yeah, get him. Yeah.
Jeez, look at that. So a horse can actually weigh more than a moose.
Damn.
But mooses are just different.
They're
You
tall.
know, and they have antlers, and you don't want to mess with them.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely not as scared of a horse. Horses don't kill nearly as many people as
No.
moose do. Well, right. How big's a Clydesdale? I think a horse can be as big as a moose just because we bred horses
There's the big Belgium
that can
Belgian
be as big.
horses that are huge.
Yeah, they were bred that way though,
There's
right?
some of them
Or
down at
no?
what's her name? Nenad's,
Oh yeah,
the big ones.
that's crazy. Hippos are big as fuck. How big is an elephant? Just using this as a
Yeah, I
learning
mean
experience real quick.
they're gonna be a little bigger than a hippo for sure.
Asian elephant, 8,800 pounds. African bush elephant, 13,000 pounds. Yeah, not that much bigger though. African
Yeah, no,
forest element, 6,000
hippos
to
are huge.
13,000. I did not know hippos were almost as big as elephants.
Oh, the biggest ones.
Yeah,
I think that was like more of an average is like probably like 5,000, 6,000
that's
pounds.
still a lot.
Yeah, no, it's huge.
Yeah.
Imagine one chasing you at 30 miles an hour.
That'd be nuts, dude. I can't run that fast. Then you get all plowed over. You shoot it, it doesn't care. Because it's like my blubber absorbed the bullet. I stopped it before it even went
Yeah, yeah.
that far. That was 3 feet of blubber. How big is their skeleton? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, elephants will mess people up too, but I think a lot of people poach them for their.
Tusks.
Yeah.
Terrible. Yeah, you can take them out. See, but yeah, what you do is you go from a distance. You don't want to get all up close and
Yeah,
personal
no.
with anything. You gotta like anywhere within 200 feet is way too close. um. Yeah. All right.
Rhinos probably mess you up too if you tried to shoot them with a shotgun.
How big are rhinos?
I think they're smaller than hippos, but they're like armored,
Yeah.
so a shotgun probably wouldn't be very effective at
White rhinoceros
if
is
one's running at you trying to
5,100.
kill you.
So white rhinoceros is 5,100 pounds.
Yeah, they're pretty big, not quite as big as a hippo.
Indian rhinoceros 4,900 pounds. Still pretty big.
Are some of the largest remaining megafauna. You can go in like a whole freaking wormhole looking up animals on Wikipedia. I've done it many times.
Terrible.
Going through different kinds of snakes or different kinds of whatever.
Yeah.
And then you go, go to the ancestors because they have all the, extinct animals on there, and you can see, what did a rhino come from? And you see like the big giant rhino that it used to be.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or
the white
like
rhino is still pretty big, dude.
there used to be like these huge giant lizards, like the
Dragons.
Komodo dragon. There were a bunch of them before.
Yeah, and they could fly.
They have like these shows on Netflix, I think it is, that do a pretty good job of like at least trying to recreate what freaking life would have looked like way back in the day when it was starting out.
Yeah.
I forget. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like a Graham Hancock kind of freaking thing. Is that who I'm thinking of? Yeah.
With the flood theories and stuff.
No, but I think it was like
The
a
pyramids stuff.
thing that he worked on with Netflix.
Oh, yeah. He be doing all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I like this whole flood theory with the Randall Carlson.
Yeah.
I was jiving with it. I was like, oh, that would explain some cool shit.
I think they were like, because then Earth after the floods, they're like trying to describe life after the floods, like life coming out of the water, whatever, survived.
Yeah. Well, all the people getting hot to high ground. It's like the floods wouldn't have covered the whole
Yeah.
world, and so you're like, some people were already at high ground. Some people got to high ground.
Some people
Some
built
people
boats.
died. Yeah, some people built boats, probably where the Ark story came from. Somebody built a boat and
put a bunch
put
of
a bunch of
animals
animals
in
on.
there.
Probably maybe a whole town of people built boats and put fucking animals on there. Because they were like, hey, I don't want my animals to die. We don't want all these animals to die,
We need
right?
food somehow if we're gonna survive on a boat for who knows how
Yeah.
long.
Let's bring some of these birds and shit, whatever.
We'll send them to see. What was the story
They
when they
sent
sent
the
the
dove,
bird?
and the dove brought back an olive branch.
Okay,
And the
yeah.
olive branch meant that there was land nearby. And so then they found land. And then there's this whole series on like the History Channel or whatever. There was an ark at the top of, or that the ark crashed to the top of Mount Everest, and that was the land that they had found. It's like there wouldn't be a fucking olive tree at the top of Mount Everest, dude.
No. Unless the environment, it was like a lot lower
Yeah.
to the ground back then.
Like, how the fuck is the world
That
that
would have been
flooded, dude?
about hundreds of millions of years, though.
Well, it'd be so crazy to have the world be that flooded, too. It'd make a lot more sense if the world was partially flooded
Yeah.
and shit was whack and it wasn't just incest all
There
over
wasn't
again.
water in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Cause that's like the start of the atmosphere right there.
Yeah.
And the water ain't gonna ever get that high.
Well, so they got like big old flood from serious heat.
There'll
Makes
never
sense.
be that much water on the planet. That's probably physically impossible.
What, to flood the world?
There's probably not that much water to be, to like flood the world to tip
Tip Everest? Hell no.
Everest.
There's no way, yeah.
There's just not
There's
a
no way for that to occur.
possible thing. There's not that
Unless
much water.
a giant water planet comes. Like
Yeah.
a huge water drop comes from space and hits us. Boom. That'd be cool.
We were resupplying the planet with water.
Yeah. Yeah, so it makes a lot more sense if people just, oh shit, there was this crazy flood, and the flood, there's a lot of people on the coast, because being on the coast is normal. Like, you get fish on the coast, and you get usually some fairly fertile soil near the coast and all that good stuff. And especially if you got fresh water running into the sea,
Yeah.
and you get the river and the sea, both of them. Best of both worlds, then people were living there, especially in the old days. And so if there was a big flood, that would affect them first. A lot of them probably got caught in it.
Yeah, everyone's along water. That's water, life.
Yeah, water's life.
So you're either along a river or a big river or the ocean.
We got a really good rain collection system.
Yeah, all those freaking big, societies back in the day, like Rome and the Greeks, all, right there along the coast.
Yeah.
Of the big seas and...
Yeah, they're like, we need to grow shit.
So they had,
so we can feed our armies.
Always, the biggest civilizations are always along water, so most of the people are gonna die in those kind of floods and whatnot.
Ever expanding. Yeah, that would suck. Alright. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time, you've been watching the Jake and Josh Show. Check us out on Spotify. YouTube. We're on Metal Cross Radio on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. And next week, we're going to talk about other shit.
Yeah, just keep on talking about stuff. That's what a podcast is, I think.
We love you.
Peace out. Talk to it.